So welcome back to the Bitcoin Battle. I'm your host, as always. I am the crypto optimist, and joining us, as always, is my dad, the crypto skeptic. And today we have Gabriele from Rosy Whale. Thank you for joining us. Just a little bit about myself. I am just a filmmaker. I'm getting into crypto the past couple of years. I've seen a lot of good stuff, and I have invested some money into it. My dad, being the skeptic, was arguing with me every day about it, and we thought we would start the show to kind of talk about it. Dad, if you want to tell a little bit about your background.
I'm a small entrepreneur most of my life, retired early, went back to graduate school, got a master's in business administration and a PhD in psychology. So when crypto came around, it was like, oh, finance, it's interesting, and also interesting in how people think. And the balance between emotion and rationality is fascinating to me, the way it works in the crypto world. So here we go.
And joining us today is Gabriele. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, definitely. Good to be here. So hello, everyone. So my name is Gabriele. I'm running a company called Rosy Whale. So what we do at Rosy Whale, actually, we are helping people to manage their emotions in the crypto space, because I agree with both of you, with everyone who is saying that crypto is, about emotions. And, when someone sees a coin rallying 5x or so, then people start jumping in. Basically, we are helping the people to manage their portfolios and earn a good money on a crypto. So that's my background. We can talk more in details, of course later.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to know a little bit more about how you got into crypto. Like, yeah, why don't you start there? Like, what's your background there?
Yeah, there is a little bit of a story. So, by my education, I'm a finance/data science professional. I finished my finance degree in business school some years back. And I used to work in investment banking for some time. And at some point, I understood that when I saw Bitcoin and then cryptocurrencies, I saw that, oh, this financial world is going to some sort of different direction. So I was like, okay, I need to investigate that. I met my business partner 2017, 2018. We started investing into cryptos, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I was like, okay, this is the future. And I left my my job at investment banking, and I was studying data science for a while, because really wanted to understand, the data science world, what is happening behind all those nice words, big data, AI, and then machine learning. I was always kind of not that bad in mathematics, and I was like, okay, I really want to study that. So yeah, that's my background. I'm in crypto since that time, as just as a private investor. We have been developing our product during those years, and yeah, we launched last year for the public to start using that. And yeah, that's my background in short.
Where was this? You were in where are you from?
Oh yeah,
you have a bit of an accent.
Yeah, so I'm in Denmark actually most of my time. I'm Lithuanian myself. I was born there in Baltic. So yeah, this is where I'm from.
Okay, cool.
So
can you
I have a question?
Quick, go ahead.
An easy question. Rosy Whale, there's an American movie, The Outlaw Rosy Whales. Did that come, is that just a coincidence, or was that connected to that?
Good question.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
It's coincidence now. Yes.
Rosy Whales, Clint Eastwood,
yeah. What does the name stand for? Where does it come from?
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a story. So basically, what we are trying to achieve, we are trying to help people to become whales in the crypto space. And why Rosy Whale? Rosy whales is like an endangered species, that a few of the pink whales are left in the planet. So that's why we call it Rosy Whale. So if you enter into Google Images, you will find pink whales, but it's only a few of them left in the planet. Yeah,
I think I got a long way to go to become a whale. I'm probably a crab now, I think. Just barely.
Yeah.
So if you could, can you explain how Rosy Whale works? Like, what exactly is it? If somebody doesn't know anything about it, complete amateur, and I think it's more for the amateur investor, right? Am I correct there, or just someone who doesn't have the time to really get into it?
Yeah, actually, the product is for both. For let's say my mom, my father, my sister, like retail clients, and it's for both, and it's both for institutional clients. We will be launching by the end of this year. The web, basically now we have web application. We'll be launching as well a mobile application. So that changes the game a lot, because basically it's all the time on your phone. So you can open at any time and you can see what's happening with your portfolio, how much of Bitcoin you have, how much of Ethereum, and all the different cryptos. So basically what the product does, it helps to manage your crypto portfolios, and it doesn't allow your portfolios to bleed 50% or even more during the bear markets and then sell everything at the bottom and then go away and say, oh, this is bullshit, I don't want to be here anymore. So this is what it does. On the back end, basically it's an algorithm that buys and sells cryptocurrencies at a certain levels, and it generates a positive ROI for you. There are a few dashboards where you can basically see the performance of your portfolio. You can see how many different cryptos you have. So you have a full transparency of what is inside your portfolio. You don't see just, ROI percentage and like in most of DeFi products. So the product is fairly simple. Now it works on centralized exchanges. So you have to put your money into centralized exchange, Binance or Binance US. We have some US clients as well. So we have to set up their Binance US accounts, and the custody is all the time on their side. They just connect to us via API keys and they start trading basically. So fairly simple. Now we are moving to decentralized version, where basically you just connect your MetaMask or any other wallet. You can connect Ledger as well. And what we do, we just signal your wallet and we perform that trade. So we never withdraw your money and put in our wallets or stuff like that. So yeah, we are initially we are a software company. So yeah, we provide the software solutions, and this is what it does.
So I mean, I've connected my wallet a few times to certain things, and kind of makes me a little weary sometimes. Like how does that, like, say I got spooked and I'm like, okay, wait, I just want to disconnect from stuff. Is there a way to do that? Can I change my keys, or like, how does that, just in case, like, just to make someone feel safe?
Yeah, sure. So you can disconnect at any time. The product works in a way that you don't lock your funds. There are no lockup periods. So if you don't like it by any reason, you can just disconnect the wallet and you take out all your assets, and it's all yours all the time. So yeah, you can do it at any time. The same with API keys. What we do a little bit differently from our products that are using API keys, we always encrypt them and we never store them in any database. So technically, there is no technical possibility that your API keys will be leaked somewhere or things like that. So yeah, that's how it looks like from the security point.
But it's similar to like connecting your bank account to something to, say, pay a gas bill or something, right? Like, is it similar to that, or?
Yeah,
where your money still stays in your bank account, but it kind of like.
So yeah, you could say so, but your money is all the time stays on your pocket, so it's never goes somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, question. So while you're trading, the money that you've authorized to work with to trade, right? That money is not in your wallet, it's in Binance, or is it, it's going
It's
to
in
be
your
eventually
Binance
you're going to,
wallet, I think.
it's in the Binance. So it's
Wallet.
on
Yeah,
the,
it's
so
always
then, all right, so in the news recently is like everybody's telling you to take your money off the exchanges and keep it in your wallet. So what I hear you saying is right now you would have to trust, say, Binance, but in the future you're working on being able to do this so that it would work right directly out of your wallet. Is that what you're saying?
exactly. That's why we are bringing this next solution for the users who don't want to be on centralized exchanges. They can do it on their wallets direct.
And so then your trades would be between like you and another person or something like that, or
And so the trades are performed when on decentralized exchanges. We are working now with Arbitrum chain. So there are two great exchanges for spot trading, Camelot, and Vel exchange for perpetual strategy. So for a little bit higher risk strategies. So
Okay.
yeah, this is where trades are happening, man, in that case.
I want to come back to the Arbitrum thing because I've been seeing that in the news a lot more because they just had their airdrop and whatnot, and so I'd like to come back to hear more about Arbitrum. But before we do, I still want to get into listening more about how this all works. I find it really interesting, and I'm thinking about giving it a try for a little bit just to see what it might do. But I guess two questions there. You recommend putting on 10,000, but you have to have at least 1,000. Is that correct? And then how long would you recommend just to see how, because it seems like it's going to take a little bit of time before you see any kind of results.
Yes. So what we are offering a long-term strategies. So it's not something that will make you, 5x tomorrow. It's something what you put your money and you leave for a year and you wait for a good ROI. So we always recommend for, let's say, people who want to try it out, leave it for at least 3 months. So this is what we recommend. People can start from 1,000 for a testing trial. That's totally fine. Above 1,000, it's not gonna pick you a good distribution of funds because just simply too less of the money for the product to work on. But yeah, 1,000 is good to go. Good to try. Yeah.
Okay. And so 3 months, I feel like, yeah, I would definitely want to leave it in there for a year. Oh yeah, I want to ask now, I see on the website you guys show like what would happen if you just, hodled, right? Or hodled, however they say it, but will you be able to see the difference of that on the app or whatever, so you could see how much better you're doing with the trades versus if you were to just leave it in those?
Yes, that's a very good point. So at the moment on our dashboard, if you would go now, you cannot see it yet, but we will be allowing to see on the dashboard the comparison with Bitcoin, because this is most of cases what people compare with. What would happen if I would just buy Bitcoin and just hold it, and what would be the difference if I go to Rosy and what happens with my money?
Got it.
So yeah, we'll be able to see that. Also, you can see, I'm pretty sure you can see this comparison on Binance PNL chart. We have a few clients that, have this view. Yeah, so you can see that already now.
Cool. And what can we choose which coins we want to hold, or is it just like you're limited to the top 20 or 30 or whatever, or?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So there are two options what you can do. You can go for the default strategy, for our strategy where we trade top 50 cryptocurrencies, or you can go and create your own vault. So for example, you can select, let's say you just want to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe a little bit of Litecoin, or just Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can create your own customized strategy and trade only those coins. So yeah, we'll be allowing to do that as well.
But they have to be in the top 50, or like, because some of the, like, a lot of the coins I have are still like, you know, they're a little bit lower. You know, I like some of the small cap coins because I feel like
that's very, very good point. So yeah, we are working on that now to allow to select the different pools. So yeah, small cap coins, Arbitrum coins, whatever, any other ecosystem coin. So yeah, we'll be doing that.
It seems that if you're going to do your own trading, you should do that separately. And the money you want them to use their tool to make you the return on investment, you should just leave that for them. You know, keep two separate. If you're
well, I'm
do
tempted to
why,
take some of my smaller cap ones that I feel are like long shots and like just put them, you know, let you guys play with them because they move. Like a lot of those ones that I have that are my smaller investments, you know, they move like 5% up and down each week, and it's like I'd love to trade them, but you know, I'm afraid to like move it, and I, you know, I lose out. But be
that's
fun
true.
to.
Yeah, it's a very it might turn out to a very big you know, in great investment opportunity later. But what is very important to sell that at the right time, right? And you never know manually. Actually, it's so hard. You might see, you know, you might try to predict, you know, is it a top of Bitcoin? Maybe I should sell now or so, but it's very, very hard. And tools like ours, for example, it helps you at least, you know, to sell at the right time, not necessarily at the very, very top, but to sell and, you know, have a return. Because we all know what is happening in the bull markets when everyone's shouting that Bitcoin goes to 100K and it's not doing that, and people don't sell at the right time, and then yeah, and we have to hold it for another 4 years. So
Yep, I was in that boat.
yeah,
but I think a lot of people were because everyone was expecting that 100K, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
Do you guys do, like, how often does it trade? Like, it doesn't, I would imagine it doesn't do like micro trades or like every day. Probably just if it's in an uptrend, it stays in there, and if it goes into a downtrend, maybe is that what's happening? Or
yeah, so it really depends what markets are doing. So for example, now when market is quite bullish, everyone shouting that Bitcoin goes to 100K. Most of our clients are sitting now on stable coins, and basically the machine is waiting what market is gonna do next, because you never know, it might go down so hardly and you will be surprised and you would not know what to do with. Let's say when markets are dumping a lot, it starts buying a lot at a certain levels. So it's purely math behind this. So there are levels where it starts buying quite heavily, and then markets are turning again to the upside. It sells slowly and buys again and auto compounds, and it's more, imagine it's more like a risk management tool. So for example, let's take an example. We have a user of 10,000 USDT portfolio. He or she starts trading. It never puts all your money into the market. So it takes a portion. So let's say 10% or 15%, depending on the market, and it buys different cryptos and it trades with that portion of the money. It auto compounds and things like that. So it's more like a risk management tool.
So you're saying right now a lot of it's in stable coins. It hasn't jumped in yet. Interesting. Wow.
It does a few trades sometimes on some altcoins, and it closes once we pump a little bit, but it's not doing a lot.
It's much
So are you
less
saying,
risky than me. I went all in at like 16 and 17,000 in Bitcoin. I was like,
Nice.
this is
Yeah,
it. I got lucky.
so yeah, we made quite a good money for the users. We went in as well, I think around 17 or so, and we sold out at some point. Yeah, so that was the time to buy.
so are you saying that it's not a person who's making the buys, it's a algorithm that's doing this all by numbers and stuff?
Exactly. It's a fully automated system. You don't have to do anything. You just have to trust that, of course.
And that brings me to Tim. I saw him. I'm looking through and I'm like, wait, that's the guy from the Matrix. And is that because you're trying to keep him anonymous, or who's Tim?
Yeah. So Tim is a gentleman living in Europe, in Netherlands. He's the architect behind the strategies. He looks a little bit like that guy in the picture. Actually, it's a little bit funny. If he would be here, you would see, and you would say like, "Oh, he's very similar." So yeah, he's quant. He is creating all the strategies since 2016. He made a few successful strategies before. He sold a few of them, and yeah, we have been developing this product since 2018 together, and yeah, we launched it last year. So yeah, you can check out, actually there is a link of his trading view, I believe.
Okay.
So you can see his track record since many years back, and yeah, things like that.
Wow. So you can actually see his portfolio, or is that what? Yeah. Wow.
He's just sharing trades strategies, like manual trades.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Dad, do you have some more? I gave out the softballs here. You you have some questions?
Yeah.
Here?
Well, my first question is, if Tim is so brilliant, right? Why do this and give out his secrets and make other people money, which he could be making more money just keeping it all to himself? It seems like it would affect, by the buying and selling, it affects the market. So it seems like it's like the guys that are telling people how to buy real estate. It's like, why you're getting paid to teach people to do real estate? Go out and buy the real estate yourself. If I were making all that money, I wouldn't be telling everybody else how to do it.
Well, and
so
to
I'm just
add to
wondering,
that, how do you guys make money on this as well? I guess to add on.
Yeah, good question. So we make money from the trading that we perform. So we charge 0.2% per every trade that we make. So every time that there is a sell or buy order, we take our small percentage. We are not taking any money from the profits that we generate, let's say, because we are not asset managers, right? We are a software company, so we can just take per trades. So yeah, this is what we do. Very good question regarding why Tim is not making himself rich. So yeah, we have been trading with our own money for many years, because yeah, we really needed to test it out if that really can survive crashes, and if it really works, because in bull market everything works in most of cases. So yeah, basically we see a very good business case. It's a good product, so why not giving this to people and making business out of that? We can still trade ourselves as well, right, using that.
Well, as a psychologist, people are greedy. We do think of ourselves first. And, to me, there's got to be a profit motive in it for them to be doing this. So it just makes me a little bit questionable. Like,
here comes the skeptic.
I'm not saying,
Very good, I love it.
All right, and here's the harder ball so you're as an investment banker, the margins and the profits that investment banks make, which is pretty good. All right. But I've watched several of your interviews. You were interviewed last year at one of the conferences or something, and the guy was asking you about Rosy Whales, and you said he asked you in a bear market, the return on investment. You said that you were making 40% ROI, and I'm like, all right, so I'm not going to dispute that. All right, it may be, all right, you might be doing that, right? The only thing is, like, because I always think of cryptocurrency as a Ponzi scheme. The thing, because it's really, the most intelligent and profitable investors all time are Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio. All right, those are my heroes, and they're not only very successful and have made billions for themselves and their investors, but they're also men of integrity that I look up to, and I say, okay, they're decent people, right? And they say that cryptocurrency is nothing but air, All right. So that.
By the way, I do have to retort to that. Ray Dalio does have 2% of his portfolio in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So saying that, all right. So when I think of it like they do, in that to me, unless hopefully but maybe someday somebody will convince me that cryptocurrency is real, right? I'm not doubting that you can make money investing in cryptocurrency. I tell Frankie all the time, don't hold on to Bitcoin. You should be day trading it or trading it, because it does go up and down. And I think in the long term, you're not going to make money, but you could be making money day trading or what you're doing. I'm not disputing that you can be making money right now because of the volatility, right? But I am questioning the 40%, because even when Bernie Madoff was doing his Ponzi scheme, he was only guaranteeing 20%. So the 40% is hard to swallow, So
that's true.
Can you convince me that that's in a bear market? If you said 40% in a bull market, I said, oh, I could see that possibly, or but
yeah.
So convince me that 40% is real in a bear market, or was that? Do you want to take that back a little bit and say, well, no, it's probably not really, but you can walk it back and say 10%. I would admire you for being more, like at least.
All right, let her answer. Let's hear. All right.
That's a very good question. I love it. Well, first of all, we are not giving any fixed rates because, that's impossible to give any fixed rate, because you never know exactly how markets are gonna look like throughout the year. So we don't, say that, okay, exactly 40% or any other percentage you will get. This is on average what we can generate for the clients. I can tell you a little bit more what we do. So in a bear markets, what is happening? Basically, we are protecting the portfolio. So let's say if you started using the tool when Bitcoin was 40K as an example, let's take it as an example. It doesn't allow to bleed your portfolio all the way down to the 50%, right? So it sells your assets, and it tries to make a few trades so it covers your basically that downtrend, right? And in a bear market, you can generate good ROI as well. There are a lot of different new let's say tokens that are launched and they are pumping, and if you're really following the market, you can really do a good money as well. What we did, let's say in the bear markets, we generated around, I would say 40%, as I said in that interview. What we do only spot trading. That's very important as well. So we don't do any derivatives trading, options. You will never get margin calls. You will never get liquidated. So the portfolios are looking very, very differently. So we just do a spot trading. We buy and sell at a certain levels, and that's pretty much it. So there are no fixed rates here.
All right, so you're walking back the 40% kind of like.
No, I'm not.
She's saying that's what that was.
Well, you're not guaranteeing it, but you're saying that that's what it is.
We cannot guarantee. I think any decent investor, decent company can guarantee anything. This is on average what we can do.
I think that
so
keep in
once-
mind, we've only been in one bear. We were in the whole bear market during their launch, basically. So I think that 40% is average for what they actually did do. Is that what you're saying, kind of?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
but I guess but I have a question. Is that 40% difference between if you had held it through that? So maybe you're still kind of down, but you're not down as much, or is that like 40% above where you started? Does that make
ROI.
sense?
That's an ROI.
Yeah, I'm talking about yearly ROI.
Okay, wow.
But keep
Yeah,
in mind
you're
that,
investing.
but it doesn't happen as well, during a month or next week or things like that. It happens through a year. So there are a lot of different, even in a bear markets, you have bear market rallies as well. And if you use that, you can make money as well.
I mean,
and you're saying the numbers, the code or whatever algorithm has figured it out who's going up, what's going up and what's going down better than human beings or economists in the economy, because it's, and all that. Then Gareth Soloway and all those people are saying it's going this way and that way and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, it's like Merlin the magician. It just, it's, or, like the Wizard of Oz, it's something, it's a black box. And this is me being my skeptic, right, is just that when you say that you have this tool that doesn't allow you to lose the money, it's like, it just seems like it's a black box.
It doesn't allow you to have them or to go based on emotion.
To be overexposed in a market.
So you said it doesn't allow you to lose money in a bear market. And I'm just saying to me, it's a little black box, and black boxes are something that is a red flag for me, because if the human beings can't figure it out, right?
Well, because humans have emotion, and it takes the emotion right out of it. It just does it by the numbers, and just by, this is when you should be doing it on a technical trade, I guess.
The black box was made by a human.
Yeah, one important point here, Frank. Basically, the tool was figured out by the human, so the human created that as well.
Yeah.
Someone who understands the markets and understands, risk management and the algorithms. So it was created by humans. It was not created by ChatGPT or.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
So yeah, that was by human, and a lot of big financial institutions, hedge funds, for example, they are using automated algorithms. So they don't have now these days a lot of manual traders sitting and trading all of that. We use those tools. So it's, well, by the history, it's not something like very new that no one used that before. The algorithm, what we have, is quite unique actually, because that there's a quite good return comparing what you are risking, because it's only a spot trading, so no liquidations. So a lot of Renaissance technologies, if we would talk about that, they are using those tools. They have been.
What's Renaissance? I don't know.
Oh, it's a big company. It's a big hedge fund. Basically, we had an algorithm where we have been running for many years. Very successful company.
I guess that I was going to ask as well. Do you guys have any competitors, or you guys kind of like, and what makes you guys stand out from them?
Yeah, there is a competition here, of course. Well, you can compare us at some level, let's say, with Ribbon Finance. Ribbon Finance, it's a DeFi product. We do options trading. So we provide quite a good returns, but that's quite risky. Again, I think, for options trading. And you can compare us with Swissborg a little bit. That's a Swiss product. We do yield farming. We don't do yield farming. We just do spot trading initially. And yeah, that's two closest competitors. Some people compare us with free commerce. They provide different trading bots, but what we provide those standard DCA bots, quite primitive ones. Yeah.
What is your thoughts on the yield farming? I know with a lot of collapsing companies now that we're offering, 10, 12%, 15% or whatever it was, like crazy numbers. And you're like, well, I can just leave my money here and not worry about it. And then a lot of people just lost all their money just because they left it in there, with the collapse of FTX and Celsius and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. So that's why we have been thinking many times actually before if we should put our result numbers, because for people it sounds too good to be true, and like someone might think, oh, again another DeFi or whatever, over leverage things. So yeah, I think those products are good again in the bull markets, and everyone is very nice and everything works in bull market. Then all those tokens just pumping up, so they can do a good deal. So then it's bear market, it just doesn't work. If you put your money in a bull market, it's some sort of yield farming product. Now you're in a huge minus, and you're just sitting and waiting until something happens. So again,
it makes no sense to put it in a yield farm during the bull market because you want to be making.
At all, you should be using them in bear markets. Put your money, choose wisely, and yeah, if you want to earn something, and yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah. Dad, do you have any other skeptical questions?
I think you covered this when you said the legal things. The governmental oversight, the regulations, you said, I think in Sweden or whatever, you're covered, but the government is overseeing the company, or no?
No, there are a lot of regulations coming up, of course, in Europe now. But again, I think there are more talks than enforcement. It takes time until the enforcement comes into the place, right? So there are a lot of talks, and yeah, again, we are operating as a software company, so we are not asset managers. Our game is very, very different because we just provide a software, right, to trade cryptos. So
but you market as an asset management company.
Sorry?
I mean, you're marketing yourself as asset management. I mean, that's what you are doing. You're using software like any other business, but you're marketing yourself. You said that in your interviews that
Yes, that's very, very good point. But we are, according to the legal side, we are operating as a software company because we don't take money of the users to our wallets.
So you've gotten around it. So you're making that, you're like being an advisor, but you're actually doing it out of their wallet, so they're not actually touching it. Yeah.
Yes. So we just perform a trade. So that's why we can offer the product to everyone around the world. We have some clients in US. We have one big client now coming in Australia. So they set up their custody, they set up their centralized exchange wallets, and they just connect to our software, and that's it. Of course, via software,
And at any time, you can just sever the ties, right? Yeah, like at any time. You get spooked, you see something in the news that's happening, oh no, and you get spooked, you can just sever it, pull your stuff off the exchanges or whatnot, and you're good. Is that true? Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, because that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people now are a lot more skeptical about connecting to any companies right now, with all this FTX stuff. It's a little scary out there to trust any company.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it's good. We didn't have FTX integrated. We tested their API, but it didn't work. Just and we said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anything that you'd like to add about the company that we didn't cover, or?
I think we covered quite a lot.
We went through everything. Yeah.
I like the discussion. That's a
Good. Well, Dad, do you have anything else there?
No, no, I mean, I'm still skeptical, but I'm not saying that you're not, it could be working, I mean, it could be the ROI and all that stuff. And I do agree that you should be or not day trading, but trading. What you're doing is at least you have a possibility of making money, even if crypto is just air and nothing really there. The volatility in the cryptocurrency going up, people are willing to pay, people are willing to sell at different prices. So if your algorithm is working, it could be. I don't think it's making. I don't know that it could make 40%, but it could be doing better than just holding it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I
Whereas
wish you luck. It's like I mean, I think that in your interviews you should be a little bit more upfront and saying, like, we are, like a software company. We will use our software to help you manage your assets. So then I wouldn't feel so skeptical. You know what I mean? Like, don't be. You want to be, upfront and what's the big thing with crypto is everything is disclose everything. So that would make me feel more comfortable. You say, we are a software company, we do this, and that. Then I would feel like you were kind of hiding the fact that.
That's all right. But my dad tells me how to do my job too, so that's how he he loves it.
Good fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But also I've seen I like to be sort of skeptical too, as far as certain things like this go. As far as Bitcoin, I'm completely optimistic. I'm just saying, when it comes to different companies, I want to be slightly skeptical just in case. I've seen we just did an interview with Crypto Wendy, and I saw her doing an interview with Sam Bankman-Fried like a few years back, and I thought, I wonder how she interviewed him, thinking, not knowing, and so many people interviewed him and thinking this is the next big thing, it's a huge thing, and all of a sudden it's crashed. So I want to make sure that we ask the tough questions, just to make sure, who knows what's happening behind the scenes. And nothing against you and your company, it looks like a cool thing, and I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if there's nothing else that you want to add to it, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come out and answer some of our skeptical questions, and answer a lot of my more optimistic questions as well. But
I think we should. I'll give you some money. I think we should put some money into this, and we'll see
if it's
after
40%,
at least 6 months, and see what the ROI is, and then we'll come back and maybe do another interview. How's that sound?
We'll do it.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you some money, Frankie, and we'll put more than 1,000, and we'll put a little bit more in to see. Yeah. All right.
We'll give it a shot. All right. Well, thank you very much. If you guys at home learned anything or want to see more like this, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.